my energy is connecting with his.
Does he have a message for you?
Remember who you are. Remember who you always have been. I've never left. I've always been here. You shall not seek without. You shall seek within, as I'm always here. I never left you.
Does Yeshua have a message for the collective at this point?
The pain that you all feel within your hearts is the pain that you felt from disconnection from Source. She's always felt this pain within her heart and has never understood what it is. The pains that reside within the heart are the pains from your disconnection to Source. It's most important now in this time to come back to your heart, to feel you within your heart, to feel the love that you are within your heart.
Are there any practices that Jess should be doing to help her connect more to Source and to you and to heal that pain in her heart?
She knows what to do. The breathing exercises, the breath work. The circular breathing. Within this breathing space, she does hear the voice of Source. But she's overthinking because it's not the grand voice that she's been taught through different programs that Source is. Source is just you. It's just your own voice. She's known this, but it's just hard for her to accept. That it's her and it's been her this whole time. She can't comprehend why it sounds like her own voice. Because it is her own voice. Because it is her.
And what is her connection to you? Why does she feel so connected specifically to you? And I believe you come to her quite often.
She is my child. She's known it. But she's always felt like, and yes, child, blood child. She knew it from The first time she watched the movie Da Vinci Code, she knew it. That was her. And all of the puzzle pieces that she's put together is correct. However, she needed to go through the detachment process before she could really, truly connect like this with me. Her tears are tears of joy because she loves me so much. And her mother always spoke of me after my departure. And she would see me as my beloved would see me in light body. She's always seen me, but she's never been able to put context to it.
Now,
She's
go ahead.
she's always seen me through others, but she never could put words to it. Yes.
Mm. Did she fully detach from that life where she was your child?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. Now, I have a question regarding her. When she seems to be transmuting a lot of energy for the collective, and sometimes it's very hard on her body. What is her role with that transmutation, and what can she do to help herself where she wouldn't feel depleted physically?
She takes in energy from everywhere, and she's done this her entire life. She takes, and we showed this to her yesterday at the park. She goes to an area and people are just drawn to go to that area and be around because they can feel the good energy that she puts out. And she takes in other people's pain and she takes it into her body and then is able to now bring it out and transmute it into Gaia. She just needs to be in nature more, and she's starting to do that. And the grounding meditations, very simple, needs to happen more frequently. The practice, she knows the practices. She has many different practices, and she has many different teachers. But the ones that she resonates with most is the breathing, the circular breathing. I'm she's very hot, so now because there's healing coming through. The circular breathing is the best for her because it's transmutes the quickest all of the energies that are built up within her system. So just doing that every day really helps. And she just needs to find the balance of when to fit these in. And it doesn't need to be every day at the same time, which she thinks that it needs to be a routine like that. But it doesn't need to be because of what is going on with her current situation. She, needs to fit it into the schedule, whenever it, best serves, which she has started to do. But sometimes when she's tired, she doesn't want to do anything. And she just wants to lay around, which is a part of the energies that she's taking in from other people. So she needs to, when she feels like this, that is the most important time to go and do the practice. I'm healing stuff in her solar plexus right now.
Can we heal that and
Yes,
clear it? Thank you. Tell me what you're doing with this area.
I'm sending mudras with my hands. She sees it as a wand, but it's just my hands.
And would it be appropriate to ask you several questions that she had instead of asking her higher self?
Yes.
Thank you. One of her questions is if you could elaborate on the nutrition her body needs right now.
More vegetables, less meat. Her body doesn't need as much meat as it's needed in the past. More fish, salmon. I know she has concerns about the fish and the way that they are being captured now. It's okay. For now, it's okay. Just need to bless it. And she's been blessing mostly her water, but she forgets about the food. She sometimes forgets about the food. So just again, she's been calling me and my beloved to bless the water mostly. And she can taste the difference with the water when she calls us. It's just more of the vegetables that she's intuitively called to eat. She tries to add different types of vegetables that she doesn't normally eat, but then it will go bad because she doesn't know how to incorporate it. She knows. That's why she's laughing, because she knows everything is, her intuition is so connected to us all. We're just here and just the ego and the doing. It gets in the way. She doesn't know how to slow down because she feels like she has to keep going. And a lot of it has to do with struggle and lack, which has been deeply embedded, programmed deep. Just so many layers of that. And because of her abilities of taking on others' energies, and her family is a big part of that. And the family's burdens have just depleted her. And now she's learning to have her boundaries with them. And the work that she's been doing really has been helping with that. But still needs, she just needs to maintain her practices more consistently, and then she will not feel so drained. But as for the food, more fish and blessed, and more vegetables, more green vegetables, leafy green vegetables.
Thank you. And I know you usually come to Jess sort of like in this funny type of way, or looking like a hippie, smoking a joint. Why do you present yourself like this to her?
Because it keeps her in her joy. And her joy is the highest frequency that she feels. It's the highest frequency that she feels in her entire body is her joy. And this is the same that others feel around her from her when she's in her joy. And it's easier for her to accept the energy when she feels this joy and laughter. And because we've tried many different ways to come to her, and it just is too much energy for her a lot of times, and it's a lot of the ancestral, because she has this blood connection to me and to us. It's a lot. She can feel a lot of the cellular DNA memory, and it's a lot of emotions for her. It's a lot of pain emotions, but also a lot of it's just the high frequency is a lot for her to take sometimes, which when she shifts out of eating the sugar and the candy and eliminating that, it's hard for her because of her partner, her beloved. And we are helping with that. We're going to help with that. So when she starts changing her diet, the energy will be more palpable for her to take. And she's been wondering why I haven't been showing up like that most recently. It's because her telepathic connection now is what we're working on.
Can you tell us more? She seems to be really liking her tub, and she spends a lot of time in that tub, and it seems like all her channelings are coming through when she's sitting in the tub. Can you tell us what's happening when she gets into the tub, and about her channelings that she started doing in the last several months?
That's where she is most relaxed. And you're correct, Jane, you are correct about it being a time machine. Because the time machine isn't necessarily what you in the 3D believe, or the beliefs around the time machine is not really correct. The fact that timelessness is gained through this process is the actual time machine itself, because the slowing down of time and the relaxation is the time machine within yourself. So you're able to connect to different dimensions, which is what she's doing. Connecting to different dimensions within herself. And it's not the grandiose way that has been projected in the movies and other things. Her abilities are different. It's all inside of her. And so it's very hard for her to grasp that, what she is getting is the traveling or the channeling. And so when she's able to create timelessness within her body, her physical body, then she is able to connect to these other sources, beings, and source within herself. And the information now that we have lots more work to do with the clearing, and the food has a lot to do with that, and being able to receive more information from source.
Thank you. She seems to be going and doing some great work around where she lives, and she connects with Mount Rainier a lot. Could you tell us what exactly she is doing in terms of great work and connecting to the mountain?
Well, it was most recently shown to her why really she's been in this area for such a long time, is because she is creating a vortex and like a geometrical dome, which she's described. It's a dome around her area of sacred geometry that is transmuting a lot of the energies, the polarity energies that are coming out of that very, very close area that she lives. And we showed her yesterday that because of the close vicinity to Bill Gates, that's the reason she's there, and she never knew that before, is that she is there to transmute much of the energy and create a vortex around that estate to balance. And the Mount Rainier is just her portal or vortex of energy, the largest concentrated energy in her area. And what she's done is left a crystal which was intentionally broken to be an antenna, and she knew that when it happened, that it was an antenna. And when her beloved uncle passed, she knew that it was an antenna to connect there and to bring in more energies of her in this lifetime lineage of relatives who have passed, who are all guardian angels to her now. So essentially, she's doing the transmuting for humanity and the collective within her area now. But a lot of it is to transmute the energy of the Gates estate.
Thank you. And could you tell us what her connection is to Kalina and William?
Kalina is her mother, and she's always felt this with him. From the first time she connected with her, she felt this very significant bond with her, even though they had never met in person. But it was the cellular memory, which she's feeling now, was a very intense energy. And is this the same energy she feels when she's in the time machine? She feels her limbs vibrating so fast within itself that they go numb, her arms and legs. It's a very intense energy for her feeling. And with Kalina, she can feel all of the lives that they walked, many lives together, as their mission has always been to carry out, to to continue the mission, our mission, when I walk the earth. She and Kalina are the voices of the mission, and you are also one as well too. You know your connections.
Thank you. Could you tell us what is going on the earth right now with the virus and where humanity is headed?
Well, the virus is again is a front on multiple levels. And she's already channeled this information, and it is correct that the virus was a way for us to get people to stop, to completely stop, and to start to face all of the the baggages and all of the resentment, all the dark, not even dark, all of the energy that you go through day to day, and someone at work pisses you off and you don't say anything, so you stuff it down, and then it happens over and over and over and over, and then it becomes this big huge monster inside of you of anger and resentment and tension, and it feeds, and it's yourself creating this monster inside. And it's the programming that has been on this planet since even before I was there in body. And it's just thousands of years of this, and it's stuffing that, and every being that is on the planet has walked many, many lifetimes. And it's this stuffing of the energies from all past lives and current lives. And finally, being in stillness so that they can just look at what is going on inside of them. Many are doing it, and many are still keeping themselves busy. And they're becoming so uncomfortable that it's creating sickness, which is the sickness virus that you're speaking of. But there's also other factors, which you all are correct. The 5G, that's also a factor that is contributing to that monster to grow inside. And this monster creates the disease, which is other things and other forms. So this virus really isn't the killer, it's the emotional energies that are in there, that are just stuffed in there. And it's your own, not this one in particular, or you are saying in the collective. It's their own creations of anger that is creating, and fear that is creating this uh like poltergeist, if you will, which is like it creates its own being. All these suppressed energies of and emotions create this entity inside that is like a monster. It's like dark blob that just like is like a Pac-Man, and it just eats up everything inside. And that's what the diseases are creating. And then this, virus comes along, and it's really nothing. It's really nothing. But it's the programming and the fear that people are, you know, forced to feel is what is what's killing them inside. And it's okay because, they are meant to go through this process. Many of them are contracted to feel these things in their life. But that's pretty much what happens, is that, you create this monster because of the energies that have been digested and forced to be stuffed down, and and you've been told not to share these things because you're weak when you share these emotions, and try to heal these things. You're weak. You're a weak person because you're so emotional. And this is this really affects me as a 3D being, because I reside in all realms. And as a 3D manifestation, it hurts me, and she can feel that pain, because I just want everyone to feel the bliss that she feels when she's in joy. And so collectively, what is going on is, again, we are at a point in this creation where there's many different celestial things going on, cycles that are ending, and so this rise of the darkness within each person coming up and out and being sucked like a magnet, being sucked up to the surface. And it's only able to release when the person faces those issues. So the virus really is not anything that they are saying that it is. And many of these doctors are very aware of this now, and they're waking up. And the doctors are actually going to be the ones to wake up most of the collective, because now the infiltrators of light, which we have shown her previously, a lot of them are being woken up now, which are the doctors, and they're starting to wake up, and they are coming online. And it's a different process for them because they have the intellectual understanding and knowings and the scientific the scientific data that is proving the unseen as real. And now they are starting to accept those things, and now they're being called online, and they will be waking up a lot of the collective. And again, many will not wake up, but many, 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 many will.
Thank you. Do you have any final messages before we move on?
Stay in trust. All is working for you, not against you. And it is uncomfortable, but that's a part of the process. And just like she's been saying, flow through it. Just flow through. It's like what we've been showing her is like a big tsunami wave. But yet, if you take a surfboard and just skim through the middle of the wave, you're just flowing, you're breaking through that wave and you're moving with it. So just accepting the energies that present themselves and taking each of those in stride as they come in that moment and flowing through and not fighting it. And this is how you will transcend.
Thank you very much for all your messages and the information.